Chosen one, something inside you has shifted, and deep down, you already know it. You may not have words for it yet, but your spirit has been trembling because heaven just crossed a line in your life that cannot be uncrossed. There are moments in a person's life that do not announce themselves with noise. They arrive quietly, like a sudden stillness in the middle of an ordinary day, like a pressure in your chest you cannot explain, like a dream that fades the moment you wake, but leaves behind a feeling your soul cannot forget. This is one of those moments. Not because you forced it, not because you finally figured everything out, but because something that was being prepared beyond your sight has now reached its appointed hour. Chosen one, your life has not been moving randomly. The losses, the delays, the doors that closed when you begged them to stay open, the people who left without giving you closure, the long nights when you questioned whether God had forgotten your name, all of it was moving under a deeper order. You were not being buried, you were being aligned, you were not being punished, you were being positioned. There is a sacred kind of time that clocks cannot measure. It is not the time of deadlines, calendars, pressure, or human expectation. It is the appointed moment, the divine crossing point where hidden preparation meets visible movement. And whether you realized it or not, your life has been approaching this point for years. In the last 72 hours, something finished forming in the unseen. Your body may have felt it before your mind understood it. A chill, a silence, a heaviness, a sudden clarity. Stay close, because what you are about to hear is not information, it is recognition. The first sign was not in the sky, not in another person's mouth, not in some dramatic event you could show to the world. It began inside your own body, in the quiet place beneath your ribs, where you have been feeling a fullness you could not explain. Sometimes it feels like pressure. Sometimes it feels like a strange weight sitting behind your chest. Sometimes it feels like a vibration, as if something ancient inside you has started humming again after years of silence. You may have called it stress. You may have blamed it on exhaustion, responsibility, bills, family pressure, loneliness, or the constant noise of this generation that never lets the soul breathe. But listen carefully, chosen one. This is not the same as anxiety. Anxiety runs in circles. Anxiety demands action. Anxiety makes your mind race toward danger. What you have been feeling does not rush. It stays. It waits. It does not panic. It simply announces that something in you has become aware. Your spirit recognized the shift before your thoughts could organize it. Your body has always been more honest than your explanations. It knew when people were draining you before you admitted it. It knew when a door was wrong before your mind tried to justify walking through it. And now it knows that heaven has placed something new inside your capacity. Do not fight that fullness. Do not rush to remove it. Let it settle. It is not a burden placed on you to break you. It is confirmation placed within you to anchor you. The part of you that survived rejection, delay, silence, and hidden warfare is now strong enough to carry what is being released. The second sign came like a whisper across your skin. You were doing something ordinary, sitting in your room, driving in silence, washing a cup, staring at the ceiling before sleep, and suddenly a chill moved across your shoulders or down your spine. The air did not change. The window was not open. No one touched you. Yet your body reacted as if an unseen presence had passed close enough to leave evidence. Chosen one, do not dismiss what your body has been reading. There are movements of heaven that do not first speak to the mind. They touch the skin, they still the room, they cause the soul to pause before language arrives. The modern world has taught you to explain away everything sacred. It tells you to call it coincidence, fatigue, hormones, imagination. But your spirit knows the difference between random sensation and holy nearness. That chill was not sent to frighten you. It was sent to remind you that you are not walking through this season alone. You have been surrounded in moments when you felt abandoned. You have been covered in rooms where people smiled at you but secretly hoped you would fail. You have been protected in conversations you never heard and defended in battles you never saw. And then came the third sign, the waking in the night. 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, that strange hour when the world grows quiet and the soul becomes honest. You opened your eyes without panic. You were simply awake, aware, listening from somewhere deeper than thought. That was not ordinary insomnia. That was a sacred interruption. Heaven was creating a quiet place inside you because the noise of the day could no longer hold the message being delivered. And in that quiet hour, another sign began to reveal itself, not through noise, but through repetition. A word has been following you. Maybe it was a phrase, an image, a sentence, or one simple command that kept appearing in places too separate to be accidental. You saw it in something you read. Then someone said it casually, without knowing it struck your spirit. Then it returned again in a dream, a song, a sermon, a comment, a conversation you almost ignored. For one person the word may be threshold. For another it may be return, listen, surrender, move, wait, daughter, son, awake. The word is different for each chosen one, because heaven does not speak to you like a crowd. Heaven speaks to the exact place where your soul has been standing. The repetition is the message. The pattern is the proof. Your mind may have missed it, but your spirit has been collecting every appearance. This is why certain words suddenly feel heavier than others. This is why one sentence can stop you in the middle of your day. It is not because the sentence is beautiful. It is because it is carrying an instruction your deeper self already recognizes. Then came the numbers: 1:11, 3:33, 4:44, 11:11. You glanced at the clock at the exact moment. You opened a page, saw a number, noticed a receipt, a street sign, a message timestamp, and something in you paused. Do not worship the numbers, chosen one. They are not the source. They are markers. They are small lamps placed along the edge of a sacred hour, reminding you that your life is being arranged by a wisdom greater than your control. All of these signs are not separate events. They are one message arriving through different doors. The pressure in your chest, the chill across your skin, the waking in the sacred hours, the repeated word, the numbers that keep finding your attention, they are all chapters of one unfolding. Heaven has been speaking to the parts of you that still know how to listen before your mind interrupts with fear. But now the deeper question rises. Why you? Why this body, this name, this season, this exact hour of your life? Why after so much silence? Why after so many closed doors? Why after years of wondering whether your obedience had disappeared into nothing? Chosen one, the unseen does not release weight into an unprepared vessel. What has come to you has come because you have already survived the preparation. You may have called those years wasted. You may have looked at the hidden season and thought nothing was happening. No applause, no recognition, no reward, no visible increase. Just private battles, quiet endurance, and prayers whispered with a tired heart. But hidden was never punishment. Hidden was protection. There were things that would have reached for your gift before your discernment was strong enough to guard it. There were voices that would have dressed themselves as opportunity while secretly trying to redirect your calling. There were relationships that looked like support but could not survive the weight of who you were becoming. God kept you unseen until your spirit could recognize what was real and what was only wearing the costume of real. The covering was not rejection. It was love. The delay was not abandonment. It was formation. Every lonely room stretched your capacity. Every loss stripped away a false version of you. Every silent season made the vessel larger. There is an old pattern. Heaven has never abandoned. It rarely begins on a stage. It rarely begins in front of people who already understand. It begins in small rooms, with ordinary people, in moments no one else thinks are important. A young woman once stood in a forgotten town with no platform, no protection from gossip, no public proof that her life carried anything extraordinary. Then heaven entered her ordinary space and placed before her a message too large for human logic. And then heaven waited. That is the part most people rush past. Heaven did not force her. Heaven did not drag her into destiny against her will. The sacred does not move through coercion. It moves through consent. It waited for one small yes from one hidden person, and when she said yes, the entire story of generations began to turn. Chosen one, the same pattern is moving through your life. God has been waiting for your yes, not the loud yes you post for others to see, but the quiet yes you whispered through tears when no one was watching. The yes you gave when you kept going after disappointment. The yes you gave when you forgave what still hurt. The yes you gave when you refused to become bitter, even though bitterness would have made sense. That yes was recorded in the unseen. Every loss refined it. Every delay tested it. Every lonely season purified it from performance. Now the appointed moment has arrived, not because you became perfect, but because your yes became real. This is why the door is opening now. Not randomly, not accidentally, the pieces have aligned. The hidden years, the closed doors, the strange signs, the pressure in your spirit, all of it has been gathering around this one truth. You are standing inside your appointed time. But stepping into appointed time requires something the modern world has almost trained out of you. It requires receiving. Not chasing, not proving, not forcing a door to open through panic, but receiving with the trust of a child who has not yet learned to doubt every gift before touching it. This is where many chosen ones struggle, because you have spent years surviving. You learned to prepare for disappointment before it arrived. You learned to protect your heart before anyone had a chance to wound it. You learned to work twice as hard, explain twice as much, and expect less than what your spirit knew was possible. The world called that maturity, but heaven calls some of it exhaustion. There is a version of you that used to believe before fear edited every thought. A version of you that could dream without apologizing. A version of you that could hear one whisper and move, not because everything made sense, but because something deeper recognized the voice. That version was not destroyed. It was covered. It was buried under pressure, responsibility, betrayal, disappointment, and the endless noise of trying to survive in a world that rewards hardness. Now the Father is not asking you to become childish. He is calling you back to holy simplicity, the kind that can receive without suspicion, the kind that can rest without guilt, the kind that can say yes without needing every person to understand it. The wrong frequency has been striving. The wrong frequency has been fear disguised as wisdom. The wrong frequency has been telling you that nothing comes unless you break yourself to earn it. But what is arriving now cannot be earned by panic. It can only be received by alignment. Now watch what begins to move after alignment. The first movement will not be outside you. It will begin within you, in the place where your discernment has been waking up. You will notice that certain conversations no longer confuse you the way they used to. Someone may smile, but your spirit will feel the distance behind the smile. Someone may speak softly, but your body will recognize the pressure hidden beneath their words. This is not suspicion. This is clarity returning. The gift that was once dim is becoming steady. The dreams that seemed scattered will begin connecting. The feelings you used to ignore will begin proving themselves accurate. The word no will leave your mouth with a new weight, not harsh, not defensive, but clean. You will not need to explain every boundary to people who benefited from you having none. The second movement is around you. Relationships are beginning to reposition. Some people will quietly leave, and this time you will not chase them with panic. Some will return, but you will see clearly whether they are returning with repentance or with appetite. Opportunities that once stopped halfway may begin opening again, not because the world suddenly became generous, but because you are no longer standing in the old version of yourself. The third movement is in your rest. Your body has been bracing for years, shoulders tight, jaw locked, breath shallow. heart always preparing for impact. But something in you is learning to unclench. Real rest is not laziness. It is proof that your spirit no longer believes it must fight every battle to remain safe. Chosen one, what is coming toward you needs a steady vessel. Let the false urgency fall. Let the old fear loosen. What is real will not require you to abandon your peace to receive it. But chosen one, whenever something real awakens, something counterfeit tries to imitate it. This is why the next season requires more than excitement. It requires discernment. What has been activated in you cannot be stolen, but it can be distracted, delayed, or misdirected if you give your agreement to the wrong voice. In the next days, the counterfeit will not come looking obvious. It will not sound evil. It may sound practical. It may sound urgent. It may sound like an opportunity that demands an immediate yes before your spirit has time to breathe. It may arrive through your own fear, through someone else's advice, through pressure, through a sudden need to prove that something has changed. Remember this, the real voice does not panic. The real voice does not rush you into performing your calling for applause. The real voice does not isolate you from peace, wisdom, or the people who genuinely carry safety. The counterfeit speaks loudly and demands now. The real speaks once and allows you to settle. Use your body as a witness. When a voice speaks, does your chest soften or tighten? Does your breath open or become shallow? Does your spirit feel clean, or does it feel pushed into a corner? Your body has been reading what your mind tried to debate. Listen to the quiet evidence. And when fear rises because visibility is coming, do not mistake that fear for a warning to hide. Sometimes fear appears at the edge of your next level because the old version of you knows it cannot follow. You have permission to be seen. You have permission to outgrow the rooms that only understood your silence. You have permission to walk slowly, clearly, and without apology. Now return to the doorway inside your spirit. Behind you are the years you thought were wasted, the nights no one saw, the prayers that seemed to fall into silence. The versions of yourself you had to release because they were built for survival, not destiny. Ahead of you is territory you have not fully seen yet, but your spirit already recognizes it as yours. You do not need to force this door open. The door is opening because the appointed time has arrived. What was sealed in hiddenness is now strong enough to stand in visibility. What was formed in silence is now steady enough to carry sound. What was tested in private is now ready to move without begging for public permission. Chosen one, release the need to explain why you are changing. Release the old timeline that taught you to expect delay. Release the rooms that only accepted you when you were smaller, quieter, easier to control. Release the false names people placed on you when they could not understand your becoming. They called you too sensitive, but you were discerning. They called you distant, but you were being separated. They called you delayed, but you were being prepared. Let this truth settle in your breath. You are seen by the one who never looked away. You are sealed by what no counterfeit voice can undo. You are sent into a chapter that your pain did not destroy, but helped prepare. So stand differently now. Walk slowly, but do not walk backward. Listen deeply, but do not obey fear. What has been activated in you is not a moment of emotion. It is the return of your yes. The threshold is behind you. The territory is in front of you. And this time, you are not waiting to become ready. You are crossing because heaven already knows you are.